Hi. Today we're going to talk about something that you may not think that you like, but that I'll bet that you like better than you think you do. And if you didn't like it before, I bet you'll like it afterwards, after we talk about it a little bit. And that's classical music. Now don't get scared. We're not going to talk about the history of it right now. We'll get into that later. But what we are going to talk about is how it feels. So I know I've done this with you guys before a little bit, not so much with classical music though. And so this is something that I learned in a music master class, and that's that you listen to the music and you draw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a link to some really famous pieces of classical music, the kind of classical music that anybody should know. Stuff that's used in commercials, stuff that's used in cartoons, stuff that's used in video games. And what's going to happen is that now that you know that that's a piece of classical music, if someone brings it up, you can say, oh yes, that's the Flight of the Valkyries by Richard Wagner. And yes, it's part of the Ring series, don't you know? An operatic piece that goes for hours and hours and hours. See, now you'll know that. So we're going to go ahead and give you some links, and I'll put a couple little interesting facts about each of the pieces of music. And what I want you to do, don't just listen to it. And you could do one piece today and another piece another day, or you could sit down and listen to all of them. It's kind of up to your mood, but I want you to at least pick one. And I want you to sit down with a pencil and a piece of paper. And I want you to just draw. If that means scribble, 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 circle, 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 doesn't matter. And you don't need to be making a picture of anything. It could be a giant mess. But what I want you to notice is how certain sounds make your shapes change. How some sounds sound like circles, and some sounds sound really dark, and some sounds sound really light and airy. And I want you to go ahead and allow the shapes you're making on the page be part of what that music sounds like to you. If that means you need more pieces of paper, get yourself more pieces of paper. There's no rules on this. It's just a question of opening up your mind and listening to the music and letting it stir your imagination, okay? For my older kids, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about songwriting today and how that classical music can influence your songwriting in ways that you didn't even think about before. So again, it's not, don't worry about it. I'm not going to be quizzing you about this. I just want you to listen to these pieces of music and let them touch you. They touch me, so thanks, and we'll go ahead and get you those links. And for my older kids, I have one more video for you guys.